Vad är allihopa, det är Kage brorsan. Idag jag har min lillebror med mig och jag är orolig att han kommer gå till fängelset någon dag. Så därför ska vi kolla på top 10 prison escapes caught on camera. 10 stycken fängelse, rymförsök, 10 stycken som har blivit påfångade på kamera. Om du någonsin blir fångad i fängelset, Josef, då ska du göra så som dessa gör här. Okej?
Ja.
Okej, jag säger inte att han ska gå in i fängelset. Det vill jag inte, det vill ingen. Men om han går in i fängelset måste han lära sig. Har du papper och penna?
Nej.
Exakt, för han är fucking trög. Du är trög, du har aldrig med dig papper och penna. Hur ska du lyckas i skolan? Hur ska du lyckas i livet? Tänk om du går ut i stan och någon riktigt smart person säger typ att grisar kan flyga, och sen en riktigt bra teori bakom den, och du har det antecknat.
De kan inte.
Ja, för att din hjärna är liten. Du tänker inte stort. Tack så mycket. Nu kör vi.
Hi everyone. Criminals have been trying to escape prison since they were invented. In most cases, prison breaks fail, but this is not always the case. Thanks to these surveillance cameras in police stations and correctional facilities, you can not only read about another prison break in a newspaper, but also see it with your own eyes. In today's video, we'll show you the most incredible, daring and ridiculous prison breaks filmed on camera. Let's...
Ajt, nu kör vi. Walla, det var en bra intro. Vi ska se nu.
Prison break with a helicopter. Some prison breaks, especially the ones shown in cinemas, are so elaborate that it might blow your mind. Every detail is taken into consideration. Each step is carefully planned. In real life,
har du sett den filmen?
Nej.
Den här.
Every detail is taken into
Vi
consideration.
ska kolla på den sen, den är riktigt fet. Den heter Jag tar nyckeln till friheten. Det är världens bästa film.
In real life though, not all prison escapes are that impressive. This footage shows prisoners Danny Provençal and Benjamin Houdon Barbeau desperately trying to climb a rope. The rope hanging from a hijacked helicopter that landed on the roof of a prison. Yeah, it's almost like in a James Bond movie. But what was supposed to be a quick prison break lasted almost 6 minutes, and the guards did not intervene. Did they want to see whether the convicts could pull it off? Well, actually, they simply didn't have weapons to fight armed criminals, so the guards chose not to risk it. And although the prisoners did manage to get out of prison, they, together with their accomplices, were arrested only a few hours later. The helicopter pilot was not injured.
För det första, vad gör fängelsevakter? Vad gör de utan vapen? Och för det andra, hur kan, om du ska ha ett rep till helikopter och klättra, hur fuck varar det i 6 minuter? Och vem fan kan inte klättra? Kolla ju.
Pilot was not injured.
Detta var det.
Escapade de eller inte?
Jo, det står att de escapade, fast sen de fångade dem på något sätt. Kolla.
Out of prison, they, together with their accomplices, were arrested only a few hours later. The helicopter pilot...
Några timmar efter. Vet ni vad, vad är det? Top 10 prison escapes. Så det är inte dumbest prison, det här är bara vanliga prison escapes.
Bulldozer attack. In 1995, 12 prisoners escaped from Copenhagen prison.
Det är den här då. Copenhagen. Det där vi reser ifrån. Det är exakt det här hände, kolla.
12 prisoners escaped from Copenhagen prison. They didn't have to dig a tunnel or steal a helicopter. They used a bulldozer instead. The powerful construction machine rammed the fortified prison wall and completely destroyed it, and the convicted criminals rushed through the hole. 3 of them were detained almost immediately, along with a camera operator. Law enforcement officers suspected that he knew about the bulldozer attack in advance. The police said that
Ey, det där är fucking smart, vet du vad de gjorde? De hämtade en hel traktor, en bulldozer, vad den heter. Kolla! Här, det ska vara en hel mur här, ända dit. De fuckade hela den. Och sen alla sprang ut från fucking fängelset. Kolla hur många det var som sprang ut.
12.
Det var inte 12, kolla.
And completely destroyed it, and the convicted criminals rushed through the hole. 3 of them were detained almost immediately, along with a camera operator. Law enforcement officers
Alltså filmar detta på att filma schoolfights.
suspected that he knew about the bulldozer attack in advance.
Kolla vad fuck händer här.
Detailed instructions. 3 prisoners in a California prison recorded their escape plan using a mobile phone, and then apparently also filmed a video about the details of their daring escape. The 15-minute carefully edited video includes the story of one of the alleged fugitives, who explains in detail how they pulled it off. He even makes a reference to Houdini and his famous escape tricks.
My name is Adam Hussein Nayeri. You know, a lot of people like to credit us with some Houdini escape act all in 8 minutes flat.
Prisoner Adam Hussein Nayeri's
Hörde du? Så de har suttit alla inne i fängelset och så har de planerat så här prison escape och han har filmat in varenda grej och han har gjort det som en fucking YouTube tutorial. Hello guys and welcome to a new video. So today we're gonna escape the prison. Jag vet inte, vi får se om han lyckades eller inte.
8 minutes flat.
Prisoner Adam Hussein Nayeri said that they used strong rope, tools, clothes, shoes and other stuff to escape. To get out of the prison, Nayeri and others cut off the metal ventilation grill.
Ey, varför gör de det som ett fucking experiment eller någonting? Alla bara flabbar.
Tänk en polis kommer eller något sånt.
Jag vet inte, kolla.
Ventilation grill. Access the water supply system of the building, and then climbed out onto the roof. It is not clear how they later managed to get down and leave the prison, but the fugitives were hiding from the police for more than a week until they were caught.
Ja, så de filmade in allting, gjorde tutorial och till och med refererade till Houdini och så fucking lyckades de inte ens.
Think fast, act fast. Sometimes for a successful escape, all you have to do is act as quickly and decisively as possible. This video was filmed in Porter County Prison, where the police transferred a prisoner named Michael Maldonado. On that day, he made several attempts to escape, but only the last one was successful. Officers asked prison staff to help them with the transfer, but there was no one available. Maldonado waited for the right moment to run out of the car, then rushed to the closing garage door, ducked under it and disappeared. It took some time to open the door, so the police officers couldn't start pursuing Maldonado right away. They claimed they repeatedly pressed the button and tried to open the door out on their own, but it all took time. While the officers were struggling with the door, Maldonado managed to escape, and even 2 hours of persistent searches with the dog later, the fugitive was nowhere to be found. But the criminal didn't enjoy freedom for long. The very next day, law enforcement officers found Maldonado and detained him. This time, they kept a close eye on him.
Fucking hell. Men hade de dörren öppen? Jag fattar inte. Typ, det där är fel av poliserna. Ja, men
The
kolla.
last one was successful. Officers asked prison staff to help them with the transfer, but there was no one available. Maldonado waited.
Jag har aldrig sett en man springa så snabbt. Kolla, min fucking broder.
Maldonado managed to escape, and even 2 hours of persistent searches.
Vet du, han lyckades inte vara fri hela tiden för nästa dagen efter de hittade han.
Ja.
Det är ändå synd så, du har ändå försökt, du har gjort kaos med alla bilar, sprungit alla du pallar utan skor.
Tänk vad han tänker nu när han springer, bara så.
Ja, vad tänker han på? Det är sant, walla.
Handcuffs. We tend to think that the only people who know how to get out of handcuffs are magicians and secret agents. You know, the same people who probably carry paperclips, lasers and a parachute with them wherever they go. However, this time we are talking about a woman called Amber Gonzalez. She was arrested for... However, this time we are talking...
Shit, mannen. Vi ska köra ögontest.
Du förlorar, vad gör du?
Jag fick tårar på riktigt, såg du?
Varför förlorar du så dåligt?
Bro, hon blinkar färs bror, vad du tog mannen?
Called Amber Gonzalez. She was arrested for theft at a hotel and placed in a cell. Amber was left with a cell phone to arrange her bail, but she was focused more on her handcuffs rather than checking the text messages. She was wriggling and tugging at her cuffs so persistently that she actually managed to simply pull her hand out. Though the officers later claimed the cuffs were too tight to be slipped off the hands. But Amber, who only weighs about 44 kilograms, didn't stop at that and left the police department quicker than anyone realized what was happening. She walked through the yards to a gas station where she met up with a truck driver, and the two drove back to the same hotel. That's where the police arrested her barely an hour after the escape. A daring escape. What does a man do after being detained and brought to the sheriff's office? He probably worries, calls his lawyer, or acts like a cool gangster. But this guy is different. A 17-year-old Quantrell D. Schwartzlow was arrested at school and placed in the interrogation room at once. But as soon as the police officer closed the door on his way out, the young man opened the window and jumped out.
Oh. Alltså jag håller med dig där, wallah. Vad fan har ett öppet fönster? Det är det första man tänker på.
Så jag var ärlig, jag tror att det är samma sak.
Ja, men tänk om du hade bott så många våningar upp. Men han bodde där nere.
Peacefully too, almost like Scott Pilgrim.
Det är bra du lär dig, det är bra du lär dig, det är bra du lär dig. Vart är din papper och penna, som jag sa innan?
Där. Kolla, där är penna och där är papper.
You know what? You just you know what?
Despite
Josef, maten är klar!
Despite falling for almost 4 meters.
Mamma när jag säger till Mohammed och duscha.
Despite falling for almost 4 meters straight, he wasn't hurt, got up, just ran away from the police department. 2 surveillance cameras caught his daring escape. The officer finally returned to the interrogation room 14 minutes later. We don't know what he'd been doing or why he left the suspect unattended for so long, but whatever the case, it turned out to be a big mistake. By the time the officer noticed Quantrell had disappeared, he was already way too far away.
Oh no!
Så trög.
Oh no!
Så vad tänker man, snälla?
Man går in, man säger fuck, men fan går in och säger
far away.
Oh no!
He was detained 3 hours later though at his friend's house, and since then there are bars on the windows of the department.
Kom.
Mr. Fantastic.
Här har vi han som vi såg.
This is the second time we've mentioned a superhero in this video, but it's honestly hard to believe this guy's an ordinary human. This man, arrested for theft in Izbabash in the Republic of Dagestan, escaped from solitary confinement through the food delivery
Vad solitary
window.
confinement är?
Dead.
You are a genius.
Ja, jag vet, men vet du vad det finns inne i den?
Vad?
Vet du? Det finns vanliga fängelsen där de har sängar och såna grejer. Solitary confinement är basically ett rum som är helt svart utan någonting. Så det är ett rum, 4 väggar, en tak, golv och inget mer.
Ja.
Inte ens en säng, ingenting om man stannar där i en vecka. Och det ska vara tydligen det som är svårast att komma ut ifrån.
Already seen escaped through normal windows, but this is something beyond comprehension. To squeeze through this tiny opening, you need to be very thin, or just very, very flexible. The escape took place at night and was filmed on a surveillance camera. The footage shows the naked young man squeezing through the narrow window, slowly and quite carefully. Had he been practicing this escape? How would the guards have reacted if they'd been in the hallway at that moment? Would he be able to get back inside just as quickly? So many questions. After pushing his way through the tiny opening, the young man calmly pulled his stuff out, put his clothes on and went down the hallway, and left the solitary cell. Nobody stopped him. Maybe he even found another window to freedom on his way and used that.
Vad tyckte du om dessa prison escapes?
Några var dumma, bäst några var flash.
Ja.
Han är då.
Jag ska inte ljuga, alla håller med dig. Vissa var kuta för sitt liv, vilket är logiskt. Vissa, ja, ingen fucking aning om hur de fucking tänkte. Tack så mycket för att ni kollade. Glöm inte att prenumerera, glöm inte att gilla, glöm inte att dela om ni gillar videon. Kommentera vad ni vill jag ska reagera på. Det här var något nytt som jag... Och vi ses i nästa video.
Det hade bara kompisgrej. Och nära hon är aj. Fuck att vara trendig. Jag håller min cirkel tight. Euronomi, jag har många versioner. Så sluta med ditt skit och sluta upp med fasoner. Hon leker tuff men har inte miljoner. Hela tiden sur, hon har skapat citroner.